Hi everybody, Manus here again with another video, and this one we're concluding our look at the Imperial Knights Codex with somewhat of a general overview of what I actually think of the Codex as a whole. So let's get into it. Well, with Knight, you instantly get what you expect on the tabletop. You're always going to be outnumbered. I play Custodes myself primarily, and Knights make them look like a horde army. You're never going to win a battle of numbers. However, Knights make up for it in the fact that they can hit, and they can hit well. They've got you've got versatility. You have chassis of Knight designed for various roles, be it primarily shooting in the case of the Crusader and the Defender, or you've got up close more in your face orientated Knights in the case of the Errant and the double close combat weapon one, whose name escapes me just at the moment. And you've got your smaller armigers, you've got the Helverins, who can chip in with the range. You've got the Warglaves, who are basically baby versions of the Knight Errant. So you have utility, you have specialists. They can all of them have the capability to hit pretty well and hard. So they can make up for their lack of numbers, if you like, by the fact that depending on the obviously depending on the fable dice rolls and which army you're going up against, you can remove your opponent's models by the shovel load in theory. The detachments, all of them are decent enough. There's one I prefer above all of them, and that's the one I covered in my last video, the Spearheaded Arms. I personally think that's the absolute gold standard detachment of the book, and for my money, in the case of how versatile and how you can make a case for using everything, I'd argue it should be the gold standard in which detachments across the whole of what 40k is based off. Because going from the stratagems to the enhancements, even the detachment rule itself, everything had a use. You could make a case for using anything in it, and I think that detachment in particular was the absolute gold standard of the 4 detachments in the book. And like I say, I think it should be the yardstick used to judge detachments going forward in Warhammer 40,000. The other detachments aren't bad. I quite like the Striker Lance. Questora's Companions I wasn't so sure about, and the other one, whose name escapes me just at the moment. So I will quickly have a look. The Gate Warden Lance, that's it. I wasn't so sold on the Gate Warden Lance wasn't bad. I wasn't a big fan of the Questora's Companions. The Battle Strike Lance was okay. I quite like that. My favourite, like I said, was and is the Spearheaded Arms. If I played Knights, that would be the detachment I would go to and use 99.9% of the time. Well, yeah, overall, I think it's been a very solid codex. Of course, they have the weaknesses that Imperial Knights have always had since they got introduced into 40k, but at the same time, some of those have been offset by what they can actually do to help themselves and fight on the tabletop. Like I said, they don't have the numbers, so they're not really going to be competing readily in objective-based scenarios against, say, armies with massive model camps like your classic Tyranid swarms or your Orc green tides, but they make up for it by the fact that they can just mow hordes of those units off the table. But as for the Codex itself, I really like it. In fact, to the point I've been throwing about ideas of doing a knight army for myself. Because I know, well, because of the rule within the book where you can take a knight for any Imperium faction, I would have one for me custodes anyway. But I'm also sorely tempted to maybe do an army of them, where alongside my custodes and talents of the Emperor as a whole, they can also pull WE within the Horus Heresy. But Heresy is a different game system for a different video, but yeah, overall I really like the Imperial Knights Codex. So, what do you guys think of it? As always, let me know in the comments, and until the next video, I shall catch you guys next time. Bye.